What we rep, Lafayette, Jeff, Bronchos, let's go. All cash, no brakes, LJ for air, let's play. What we rep, Lafayette, Jeff, Bronchos, let's go. All cash, no brakes, LJ for air, let's play. What we rep, Lafayette, Jeff, Bronchos.
Welcome to episode 9, week 9 edition of the All Gas No Brakes podcast. To my right is head coach Pat Shanley. Another conference game, just keep on rolling.
Yeah, man. Yeah, the Giants came to town on senior night. I know they had a handful of guys out, but Coach Chambers, he's a proud coach, and he's been at Marion a long time, and I think he took him to a semi-state about 5-6 years ago. So he's a good coach, and they had a good game plan. I mean, they tried to slow the game down and really run the clock all the way down to zero, sometimes past zero. But I thought we were really good on defense, really good on special teams, and very efficient on offense. So it was a complete game for the Bronchos, and we certainly appreciated our crowd coming out too. It was a great crowd on Friday night. And
speaking of efficiency, let's get to it. Tristan Barrett, 17 for 19, 6 touchdowns.
Yeah, his 2 incomplete passes were throwaways, where he made good decisions. We didn't get the look that we thought, and he took care of the football, preserved the football, and threw it away. So to go 17 for 19 against any opponent, you're cooking. And again, I think that's a testament to our offensive line and his skill guys really, executing at a high level, and him being in the playbook and really preparing hard. So, yeah, we were proud of Tristan's performance and the offense's performance as a whole.
And just overall, Tristan's efficiency, is it the best you've had at a starting quarterback efficiency-wise?
He's playing at a high level. I don't know exactly. I think he's completing close to 76-77% of his passes. He's third in the state currently in yards per game, total passing yards. So, again, he's playing at a high level. He's working hard, and it's the result of being really locked in during practice. It's the result of really studying his film. I mean, he texts me, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, what he's seeing coverage-wise on the film. He really works at it. He's got an edge to him, but his edge comes from his competitive drive. He's a very, very competitive kid.
When we ran the ball, it was 6 yards per carry and for a touchdown. So really good night running the ball again. Yeah.
Again, with what they were giving us, we felt like we could attack certain areas of the defense. But again, our offensive line again is blocking at a high level. Our running backs are running hard. Dez continues to get better every week, and Marquise is running hard. He caught a touchdown and ran for a touchdown. But again, I think our offensive line, they don't get enough credit. They're playing at a really high level right now.
And then receiving game, Omar and Bryce with a combined 300 yards and 4 touchdowns between the two.
Yeah, I don't know where they're at. You can go to the BroncoFBRecruits.com and check our record book on there. They're having a good year. They're having great careers. And again, that's possible if you got guys like Tony and Jamel and Tyler that are really kind of selfless and helping get those guys open and helping them get yards after catch. And I didn't include Matt Adams. On Bryce's 91-yard touchdown catch, Matt Adams had an incredible block and helped spring that. So, yes, those guys are highly productive, but it's a collective effort amongst our offense that are helping those guys, put up pretty good stats through 8 games.
So those other receivers just doing the dirty work, just really
and they're capable. I mean, Jamel is going to be – he's very, very talented. Tony, he's a blue-collar dude that works really hard, doesn't care about getting credit. He just wants to win football games and just wants to see his teammates succeed. He sent texts to Coach Warner, hey, I think if we do this could get this guy, some extra yards and things like that. Like he's really concerned with doing whatever it takes to win. Tony White's a senior that really wants to win.
And then on to defense. I mean, this defense has not been scored on since conference play has started, the starting defense.
Yeah, our ones have not given up a touchdown in NCC play. The standard is a standard. We regardless of who's in, we want to play really good football. But getting everybody reps is something we value. We're a developmental program, but those guys that are in first, through 8 games are continuing to get better, play at a high level. They're really, really pursuing. I think that's, if you watch our defense as a whole and you're just a fan of the game, my hope is that you come away from watching them play defense and say, man, those guys play hard. Man, those guys pursue.
And then Blake Gordon, overall 16 tackles. Just a great night for the senior.
Yeah, Blake's a kid that works really hard. It's another senior that busts his butt and does a great job and works really, really hard throughout the week. He's really, really consistent. It's good to see. Marion, again, they really didn't come in with any intention to throw the ball and really did a lot of things to kind of create numbers in the run game. And Blake, played at a high level. And again, a lot of that's credit to the defensive line for eating up blocks and keeping our linebackers upright and allowing them to make those plays. But Blake played well. Speaking
of the D-line, in total, you have 11 and a half TFLs. You have 2 sacks and 5 hurries. The D-line was just getting after it last game.
They were. Yep, they played at a high level. Yep. It's good to see your interior guys making some plays. Those guys work hard. And, again, they're kind of like offensive linemen, if you will, do a lot of the dirty work so other guys can make plays. But, they busted loose a few times against Marion and had some nice TFLs.
Matt Gifford with another 5 for 5 night. Just overall, just staying consistent. It just seems like he just gets better and better every week with kicking the ball.
He's doing well. Yeah, he's a kid that really works at it and studies it and tries to perfect it. And we're very fortunate in that we have 2 kicking coaches, in Coach Hibbets and Coach Crockover, who kicked at Purdue. He's a local name. People might remember that last name. But those guys are really good coaches, and Madden's really absorbing the information they're giving them and putting it on tape.
Obviously, this week is a huge week.
Yeah.
NCC Championship. Very similar to the Marion game last year. Another team who not a lot of people had an idea of going into the season. Now it's a really good football team now that we see it now.
Yeah, you look at their 3 losses on the season, and it was early. I believe week 2, 3, and 4 consecutive, 3 in a row. They combined records of the teams they've lost to is 22-2. Mm-hmm. Right, 2 of those teams are undefeated, 8-0 right now. So they've lost to really good football teams. Yorktown, they had Yorktown beat, and Yorktown scored late, kind of almost like a walk-off touchdown against them. But they really controlled most of that game against Yorktown. And you look at Yorktown. Yorktown has played New Pal closer than anybody not named Decatur Central on that schedule. So Muncie Central is a really good football team. A lot of these guys that are seniors on this team have played. They started as freshmen, so they've seen everything. They brought in a new head coach. He's won 75% of his games, just won his 50th game. He's doing a great job. They're very well organized. They play really hard. They're really good on defense. They've got 2 running backs. One's averaging almost 10 yards a carry. 10, Eccles, who's got a pit offer, is a really, really good player, and he runs the ball well. Big offensive line, really talented skill guys. So 3 Division I D linemen. Mm-hmm. They got number 54, who's getting a lot of Division I looks. Number 50, Clemens, who was a 7th grader here at Tecumseh. D. Marchand, he's a really good player. And then number 10, who, like I said, he's got the pit offer. This is a really good football team. They're 4-0 in the conference. We're 4-0 in the conference, playing for a conference championship on Friday night.
This is very similar to this 2022 Kokomo squad when it just comes to you got dudes.
Yeah, they have dudes.
All around.
We need to pack Schumann on Friday night. Mm-hmm. This is a good football team that we're certainly aware that they're a good football team. We're going to need to play at a high level, and we're going to need to make sure that the city of Lafayette comes out, supports the Bronchos, and gives us all kinds of energy on Friday night against these guys.
Mm-hmm. And then now it's time for my favorite part of the week. It's the spotlight, and this spotlight was the seniors.
Yeah, so senior night is awesome. It's always a good celebration. Seeing families come out and support their guys, get their introductions, kind of get, football players wear helmets. So when they do their senior walks in pregame, they get to, walk down that track. So it gives, our fans a little bit of, oh, okay, that's who that is. That's what he looks like, and then the young kids as well. So, it's a special night. Our seniors, ranked currently, I think, 3rd in the state for a team that won 1 game on freshman football. Mm-hmm. When you were an 8th grader, you guys won how many?
4.
4 games. I remember talking to you guys as freshmen, and that season was pretty rough, your freshman year, and talking to you guys in the weight room about, our process, and you stick to what OGD's giving you. Stick with it. You could see the talent in your group, and you could see the drive. It just didn't click yet their freshman year. But you guys have really, really transformed your bodies. the consistency of your work. It's a group that is the strongest team in history of our program. It's the fastest team in history of our program. But academically, we might have the most guys with over a 3.5 GPA, the most guys we've ever had over a 3.0 GPA. This group of seniors has continued to raise the bar. And we're really proud of how they've developed as football players, but more importantly, we're proud of how they've developed as young men. We feel really good about this group. When you guys go and you graduate and you go into the real world, we're going to have guys that go in and are highly successful at college. Ricardo's going to go be a Marine. Guys are going to enter the workforce, and we feel it's a group that's going to continue to compete hard there and work to be the best in whatever it is that they pursue. So yeah, man, it's a group we love. It's a group we care about. Sometimes you guys drive us nuts as coaches, if we're being honest. But nobody's going to question your work ethic. Nobody's going to question how important this is to you guys. We're really proud of this group of seniors, and hopefully we're fortunate enough to have a lot of football left to play.
And then I just like the seniors that freshman year weren't starters, I would say, or guys who weren't in. Blake Gordon didn't play freshman year.
Right.
T. Grizzly did not play freshman year.
They were on the teteam.
They're on the team, but they weren't getting any play time.
Right.
There was Ezekiel Salas-Gomez or Joyce Ndamba.
Right. Yeah. So that's what's cool, because there's eighth graders at Tecumseh that maybe don't see that light at the end of the tunnel. I'm putting in all this work, and I want to play. But if you work really hard and you stay consistent, you're going to develop and you're going to get better, and you got to be ready when your number's called, right? So it's cool to see, and we have a history of that. Zeke Buchanan is another one, last year's senior, right? Alex Juarez, right? So we tell those stories, and we tell those stories to our current freshmen, we tell them to our eighth graders, we tell them to our sophomores. Keep working, keep chopping, keep working, and good things will happen. And whether you become a starter or not, if that's who you become in the process of what you are chasing, you're kind of hardwiring who you are as a man into being somebody that's going to be consistent, that's going to be a teammate, that's going to work really hard, who's going to set goals and is going to pursue those goals. That's what we want. That's what we're about. Moody, you're a backup right now, and you're a senior who's down there with the scout team a lot, preparing our defense. But you're consistent, and you want to be a starter, I assume, right?
Yeah.
Right. So I'm sure you have a desire to get out there on the field, and you may, right? But you understand, you're intelligent. For me as a coach, what I'm most proud of is seeing how good of a teammate you are, and accepting a role. Maybe not loving it, but accepting your role, understanding I'm going to find ways to add value. And again, collectively, this group of 30 seniors has done that. Some guys are starters, some guys are not. But you know what? My work and my work ethic and how good of a teammate I am, it's important to you. And you guys are finding ways to add value. And again, you work as hard as anybody in our program. You're as consistent as anybody in our program. Maybe not reaching your ultimate goal of being a starting H-back this year, but I'm confident that this experience is going to be a part of the success that you have when you're an adult, right? Whatever it is that you're chasing. So, and then I think you could say that about all of our seniors.
And then guys have just worn different hats in this senior group. Nate Hilzebeck, who was a quarterback his whole life, and then he gets to freshman year, and they're like, we need a long snapper. Ace is out, and he goes and becomes one of the best long snappers in the state. Yeah,
he's really, really good. He could do it collegiately if he chooses to pursue it. He also throws the fastball 90 miles per hour in baseball, and that's probably the path he's going to take. But if he really wanted to play football at the next level, he could. But again, that is, like you said, that's a kid who came here as a freshman, right? He was a South Side kid. Chose Lafayette Jeff, and he has made the most of his experience. He has really developed. He's accepted his role, right? And he stepped up and kicked in a big game against a county rival, and did really well. Yeah. And did really well, right? And that kid had never kicked in a football game in his life. He's an elite snapper, and he's just a tremendous kid. He's about 3.9 GPA. All right, so he'll be an academic all-state kid. But again, that's another great example of kids loving their teammates and thriving in what they're asked to do and working really hard at what they're asked to do for the greater good of the team.
And Paul Wagamuth, who played linebacker from freshman year all the way up to junior year, and then late in the season, Coach Hendo asked him to play some nose, and now he's one of the best ends in the state.
Yeah, he's going to play college football. He's a weight room junkie, warrior. Obviously, we know how important it is to him. But yeah, that's a kid that's really come a long way, not only as a football player, but also as a young man. I mean, he's really grown into somebody that was a little bit of a knucklehead. That's no secret to anybody, but he's a kid that is really leading in his own way and really doing a great job. I mean, that's what we're in the business of is developing people, and it's cool to see guys like Paul that have really grown up and become a really elite human being.
Another guy, last guy who's really worn a different hat is, probably my best friend, Matt Adams, going from linebacker as a freshman, then he played D-line, then he played O-line, and now he's at H. And he caught a touchdown.
Yeah, he did. Yeah, man, that kid bleeds red and black. Set the record for off-season grit points. His family bleeds red and black. He's a kid that fundraises really, really well for our program. So this little plug to Joni Adams. You're not going anywhere. We need you to stick around our program, and we'll give Matt the credit for fundraising, but we all know who drives that operation. Mrs. Adams, thank you. But yeah, Matt is we've asked him to do a lot of different things, and his love for his teammates and his love for this school and our program really shine because he regardless of what he's asked, he's going to give you everything he's got at it.
Yep. And thank you guys for watching another episode. Thank you, Coach Shanley, for coming on here again. And thank you, seniors, for everything you've given us, including myself, giving us everything you have to this program. And make sure you like, hit that subscribe, and bell icon from 5. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Go Broncos.
Go Broncos.
What we rep, Lafayette, Jeff, Broncos, let's go. All cash, no breaks, LJ for air, let's play. What we rep, Lafayette, Jeff, Broncos, let's go. All cash, no breaks, LJ for air, let's play. What we rep, Lafayette, Jeff, Broncos,